Welcome to Pera's Playbook. This is your host, Alex Pera. Let's open up our playbook and see who our guest is. Please enjoy. Let's roll. Welcome to episode 218 of Pera's Playbook. Today we're joined by Karolyn Rombouts. She's a women's golfer at Queen's University in Charlotte, so we're happy to have her on the podcast. How's it going?
It's going good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad we were able to get this to work out. I know we had talked about it a while ago, but as life is busy and schedules are hard, and it's just part of the podcast game. You got to circle back with people months later, and eventually it'll work out.
For sure. It sucks when it's in season as well. So we were
Right,
traveling quite a bit, so this worked out a bit better.
right. You guys
Yeah.
have a fall season for college golf?
Yeah, so we're fall and spring. Usually the fall consists of 4 to 5 events, and then the spring is 5 to 6, including conference. So it gets
When
busy,
was
and
your
they take a long time.
when was your last event in the
It
fall?
was just before Halloween weekend. So
Okay,
it's always around that last weekend of October, first weekend of November kind of area.
okay.
Yeah.
So are you in
So now
like
we're off and we
yeah,
can
no
rebuild some
practice
swings
or
and so for D1 golf, we have 20-hour weeks, which is when we're in season, and then when we're out of season, we go to 8-hour weeks. But right now we don't have anything other than lifts. And then when we pick it back up, technically like our off season, we'll do probably a couple rounds of golf here and there, a couple practices. We can always text our coaches and they'll come look at our swings in our sim room and stuff like that.
are
Yeah.
you guys still playing outdoors right now? I mean, I imagine the weather in North Carolina is still nice enough to do that.
Yeah, last week it was still like in the 70s, but these past couple of days, it's really dope. It's getting cold. It actually snowed last night, which is like
Wow.
they start free. I'm Canadian, so I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
get that out of here. But they were
Yeah.
like freaking out, like, they posted on their stories and all that.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were thinking I went south to get away from this crap. Come on.
Yeah, like it can stay in the north. It does not have to come here. It's why I play golf in the south. You can't golf in the snow.
Right. Well, you
Yeah.
could, but it wouldn't be very enjoyable. As long as the course was
Yes.
open,
I
there could be
actually,
snow falling.
oh, for sure. There's two courses that I know that there could be snow on the ground, but they're still open. One is Tarandoa Golf Club in close to London area in Ontario, and then another one is Wardsville. Both are kind of close to where I'm from. And there'll be like snow in the bunkers, and you can still go and play and
That's
it's
awesome.
great. You're just walking over like iced over puddles, really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I love that. Did you play other sports growing up, or has golf always been your main thing?
Yeah, I did. My mom growing up was a figure skating coach. So I say all the time, I was born with skates on my feet. I completed all of the gold standardized tests. I competed, like our winters were full of figure skating competitions and all that. And then I also did track. My mom was obsessed with both. So obviously had to compete in all those and it was consumed my childhood. And then when I was around 14, I picked up golf. And then when I was 15, I got a really bad case of bronchitis and I broke my ankle. So that kind of ended figure skating and track. And then I had to start golfing. I needed a little bit of an easier sport on my body. So,
Yeah, yeah. It's
yeah.
easier on the body, but it's harder on the mind.
It is. Yes. I would say that was by far the hardest hurdle I had to get over. When you do like figure skating and track, I did the 400 and 800, and then I did a little bit of long jump. But figure skating, you have your like 2 minute solo or your 3 minute solo, and you get out there, you do it, and then you're done. Or you have your 400 and 800, you just leave it all out there and then you're done. Whereas especially in college golf, when we have to play 36 holes, you're out there from 7 a.m. until 7 p.m. and it's all day of a mental grind. And it feels like it's never really over because even afterwards, you're like, oh, I could have done this better. Oh, I should have used this club. Why didn't I do this? It's like, that was by far the biggest thing I had to get over of like, how do I get over that mental hurdle of just I can't just, push myself harder through it. I have to like, okay, make smarter decisions and think through every little move and yeah.
Yeah, it's such a domino effect too, right? Like one bad shot leads to another bad shot and one missed putt. Then you go to tee off on the next hole and you're still thinking about that missed putt, so you have a terrible drive. Like it's so everything just
Oh, for
piles up.
sure. For sure. I can't remember which LPGA player said it, but she said you have to play or you have to practice like it means the world and play like you don't care at all. And I think about that often because, practicing you have to be out there for hours and focus and really pay attention to every detail. Meanwhile, when you're playing, you have to be very free and very loose. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
golf.
It's a hard sport. It's one where there's I've seen so many videos of like I saw one, it was Nick Saban. He was trying to teach like some of his Alabama players to play golf and they were really struggling. And somebody was like, "Look at this. You have high-end Division 1 college athletes who are struggling with golf. Don't beat yourself up. It's a hard sport." Because everyone, right? Like your regular everyday country club golfers in the summers and whatever beat yourselves up because you shoot a bad round. It's such a crazy sport.
Yeah, oh, for sure. It's like there's so many different aspects of it. It's not like, in hockey, you have like, your right wing or left wing, you kind of have your position. Whereas like in golf, you have to be good at everything. You have to be good at hitting the fairway with your driver. You have to be able to, hit the green and pinpoint and understand which sides of the greens you need to go on and slope and grain and chipping and putting. There's like just so many more aspects of it that you kind of, I don't want to say memorize, but you have to learn. And it's all like play management.
Yeah, right. Every other
Hmm.
sport, you can be a specialist in something like that's all you do. Like you mentioned hockey. If you play, football, you can be like a punt returner, and that can be your thing, and that's what you get paid to do, and that's all they want you to do. But in golf, you can get far if you have 2 out of 3. If you're a good driver and your iron play is good, but your putting's not that great, like you can still go far, but it's hard to be number one. It's hard to win tournaments. In football, you're on this team. Everyone else has a job, but like you said, golf, you've
Hmm.
got to do it all, and you've got to be fairly good at it all.
Yeah, and especially to have a winning team. Because in golf, you have your five players, and then all five play, and the four highest scores count as your team score. And so if you have two girls not play very well, you have to count one of their scores. So as like a team, you have to have all five girls on it, basically.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. It's a tough sport. One of the hard, it might be the hardest sport. And people can argue that, like, what is the definition of hard? There's other sports that might be more physically draining, but you have to be so precise in golf. If the smallest little thing is off, your swing is going to be off, and that throws everything off. And the whole mental thing we talked about, things snowballing, like, I think it's so technical. That's why it might be the hardest sport.
Yeah, you have to be very forgiving and very accepting. So you,
Right.
you can't control where the tree branches are. You
Right.
can't control the winds. Can't control if it's pouring rain. You have to just be very accepting and keep going.
So many other sports you can escape the elements. Basketball, you're in a
Oh,
gym.
for sure.
Football, depending on the level you play, if you're in the NFL, half of your games are in an indoor stadium, the other half are outdoors. So like depending on your sport, you can escape the elements. Golf, not so much, right? Like
No.
if you're a pro golfer on the PGA Tour and it's raining or the wind gusts are insane. You've got to adjust your game to that because there's still a tournament to play.
Yeah. I mean, there's not many sports where the refs literally are out like squeegeeing the greens, the water off the greens, so you can roll your putt?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Little brings a whole different meaning to like weather and playing in the weather.
Oh, yeah.
So, in
Absolutely.
a recruiting sense, you mentioned you're from Canada and now you're playing golf in the South. Was that something that was like something you wanted was to be able to go play somewhere in the South?
Yes. So I didn't look anywhere like above Tennessee. I kind of took Tennessee, North Carolina, and went down to Florida. Um, Recruiting was interesting for me because, like I said, I started golf when I was around 14, 15, but I wasn't really hard set on getting a scholarship until I was 16, 17. And most of these girls, they start when they're 3, 4, 5 years old, and their whole life plan is to get a scholarship and they're going to go play golf. And it's always in the US. But for me, it was very up in the air still. And so by the time I really decided at 16, 17 years old, a lot of these girls were already talking to schools and like on it really, and I wasn't. And so then this is around when COVID kind of came around and at the lockdowns. And so I decided to do online high school, which was awesome. I wouldn't redo it any other way. And I also took a gap year. And during my gap year, I went down to the Matt Dijon Academy in Florida and took my gap year there. And I lived with a host family, and that was amazing. So I had that extra time to talk to schools and reach out to them. And I don't think I did a normal way either. A lot of times, these coaches or you hire a recruiter to do it all for you. I did it all myself. Well, with the help of my mom, obviously. Um, and we did have a recruiter for some of the paperwork. But other than that, I was DMing coaches. I would go on their websites and find their phone numbers, and I would, leave them voicemails. And then if that didn't work, I left them another one. I think I had a cycle of 3 different DMs, 2 different voice mails. I had 3 different emails I would send. I really had to put in a lot of work for it, and I actually would not be at Queens if I didn't leave a voicemail. So I left 2 different voicemails on, she's left now, but her name was Coach Fowler. And she got back to me because she listened to my voicemail and said she's very obviously into the school. And so she welcomed me for a visit. And I knew as soon as I was on campus, I was going to go here. So
Yeah, that's
yeah.
awesome. So you were doing all the grinding. You were doing all of it to
Yes.
get
And
yourself
I
noticed and
Absolutely. And in a way, COVID was kind of a blessing for me because I was going to a public high school, and with that time that I had, I don't think I would have had enough time to research schools and reach out to them. And I had the privilege of like my parents being able to take me on visits and all my parents' help too. And with all that, if I was at public high school, I don't think I would have had that time, and I probably would have been far more focused on track than golf
yeah.
anyway. So,
They're big
yeah.
decisions. There's a lot that goes into it. There's so much that people don't understand with recruiting. Like, what does everyone see? Everyone sees that Instagram post that says, "I'm committed." Like, that's all they see. They're like,
Yeah,
"Oh, isn't that awesome? Congratulations." Right? But they don't see any of the behind the scenes possible stress and this extra, it's such a huge life decision that you're making when you're 16, 17, 18. It's crazy.
it is. It is. But it is one of those things where it's like, as soon as you meet the coach or the team or you see the campus, that you're gonna go here. Like I had a few visits where I was like, I don't like it. I'm not gonna go here, Like, and that's fine. Like there's always gonna be something for somebody else, and you make your own decision. But I knew as soon as I got to Queens that this was perfect for me.
Yeah, everyone has a
Yeah.
different vibe, right? Like certain coaches' mentalities are gonna, do better with certain people than others. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, different philosophies, or that somebody might hate it and say this is not the place for me, and somebody else would be like, I love that coach. This is my favorite place.
Yeah. It's all about
So,
personality.
yeah, right.
Hmm.
How would you sum up college golf so far?
It's a roller coaster. It's, I mean, It's awesome. Like I love my team. I have had three coaches in every 3 years. I've been here, I'm a junior now. So I've learned a lot about having different coaches and adjusting to different coaches. But my teammates are like my rock, and I have an amazing roommate too. So like the friends really make this place. The location of Queens is awesome as well. But Queens Golf, like the traveling and being a team and you travel with basically the same five girls to every event. It's awesome and those are your best friends.
Yeah. Are
Hmm.
you guys, how far away are you from Chapel Hill, like University of North Carolina?
I don't know for sure. I would say like an hour and a half.
Do you
Yeah.
guys like do golf events that they're at, or are you guys not in the same?
No, but we have gone to like University of Georgia.
Okay.
We've been to Alabama. We go to Florida, South Carolina, College of Charleston. We've been to two of their events this past fall. We've gone to Navy Academy. That was very cool.
Oh
So
wow.
we cover a lot of ground and we don't fly anywhere. We're in our van and you bring your pillow along and you just take a really long nap and do some
Yeah.
homework.
Yeah. Those
Yeah.
bus trips can be kind of fun, no? Hey, like or van
Yeah.
trips or whatever you want to call them, right? When you're with your teammates.
Yes, the best one, this was hilarious. We were driving and we noticed another college golf team beside us. It was a men's team. And so we like grabbed one of my iPads and we were like holding it against the window saying like, what school are you from? And then like our vans were basically playing like leapfrog and we were like having a conversation through the iPads. It was really cool. It was awesome. And I mean, University of Georgia was awesome too. Every coach I've had is a Georgia fan. So yeah, we have to go play in their event and yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, that's funny. Communicating through an
Yeah.
iPad to another. What
It was
school was
cool. And
it?
then I can't remember. I cannot remember. I don't know. But I want to say maybe like a school from Virginia because we were going to Virginia, I think. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was sick.
That is cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite golfer? Like favorite professional golfer?
I mean, who doesn't like Scotty? Like he's the
Yeah,
best. But it's not necessarily the golf that I like about him. He's such a family man.
right.
He's faith oriented. He loves
Yes.
his religion and like I'm a Catholic, so I love that he's down to earth. He's very open. And like he's just relatable. Like, yeah, you'll watch some of his interviews and it's truthful. It's not like, oh, I could have hit it better. He's just like, yeah, I didn't hit it good. Look,
Yeah.
that's it. And it's like people relate to that because none of us hit it good all the time. Meanwhile, this is like the best player in the world saying like, yeah, that wasn't a good decision or I just didn't hit it good or, down to earth,
Yeah.
very relatable. I mean, it's hard to say he's a bad guy, like
No,
so.
he's not. He's
And then
not.
you have guys like that, and then you have guys like Bryson, where he's just pulling an Augusta sign out of the ground,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I like Bryson though. He's fun. He's got
yeah,
great fan engagement. But they are different personalities. They're different flavors. Um, but even Scotty, when he's got a bad shot, it's like most people would love to have that shot, right? Like
yeah,
his definition of a bad shot, he always gets out of it. He's the some people say, well, he's not that fun to watch because he doesn't have this like raucous personality, but I think it's almost the opposite. He is fun to watch because he's so controlled and precise, and it's always like perfection when he
yeah. He is a perfectionist, and I think you can't play golf if you're not. Yeah,
right.
it's such a detail-oriented sport that if you're not paying attention, like you just can't really play well. Like you're just not gonna score. And I mean, you'll watch a lot of these interviews of a lot of the professional players. They're so detail-oriented. They're all perfectionists, like Tiger Woods, DJ, the Korda sisters, they all say they're perfectionists. So
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, you have to be, especially when it's your life. when that's
Oh, for
all you
sure.
do, you can be, right? Most of us that are playing just on the weekends or after work or whatever, you can't really be a perfectionist. You're not devoting that much time to it. But when you literally golf 365 days a year, you know, and you know
Yeah,
those guys
it's your
are, right?
living. Yeah,
Yeah.
and when you're like the guys bouncing from like the Corn Ferry Tour to like
Oh,
the lower guys on the PGA, I think it's really tough. It is so tough to like really break even, and it's your living. So,
yeah.
yeah.
That is tough. I've had a few guys on the podcast that are playing in like the Americas tour or they're playing in the Corn Ferry Tour, and it is tough. And if you look at like what the top winner gets in those tours, like the earnings, and then you think about how much your hotel expenses were and your flights to get there and how much you got to pay your caddy. It's like if even if you get
Yeah.
first place, it's not like you're raking in the dough. I mean, people see the PGA Tour and they're like, "Oh wow, the first place person got $8 million," and it's like, yeah, okay. But if you're playing
Yeah.
one of these lower tours, first place wins you like, sometimes 18 grand or something. That's,
hmm Yeah, and I think the higher level you go, the more everything costs too,
right.
right? So, yeah, it's
It's
tough.
crazy. It's a crazy sport, but it's fun. It's fun to watch too. People who say watching golf is boring, I don't know what they're talking about. Like when the PGA Tour gets in that full, like that awesome swing from like after the new year through when you've got just tournament after tournament, they go to Pebble Beach, and then you got the Masters and you got the Open, the
And
US
Ryder
Open,
Cup
right?
and
Or you
yep.
you've got this whole stretch from like New Year's through July, where there's awesome golf tournaments and the best in the world are playing. I mean, it's really thrilling. I mean, what's more thrilling than like JJ Spawn's putt to win the US Open in pouring rain and this 80-foot putt or whatever it was? I mean, that's
Yeah, and
thrilling.
Rory winning the Grand Slam.
Yeah, that's
This has been a big
exciting.
year for golf.
It
Yeah.
has been a big year for golf, but people who say it's boring, I don't know what you're watching because
They
what
just
I'm
don't get it.
watching is not
They just don't
boring.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been to any golf events? Like, have you walked around
I
any?
have not. And I mean way up here in Michigan, um I was looking and I think the senior PGA Tour goes somewhere in like Madison, Wisconsin or somewhere in Minnesota that like wouldn't be a really
Yeah.
far drive.
You should just
And
go to 3M, like the one in Minnesota.
yeah,
That
isn't
one
that
was
in
pretty good.
Minneapolis? Yeah, I think
Uh-huh.
somewhere
Yeah.
around there. Um but actually there's a golf course in the southern Upper Peninsula. There's a casino there, the Island Resort and Casino, and then they have a golf course called Sweetgrass and another one. And I think they've held LPGA events or LPGA qualifiers there or something. I don't know if they have it in a while, but like that's only a 3 hour drive for me. And if I saw that they were hosting one, like I would totally go to that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, no, they're so fun. I've been to a few. Like I've been to the Honda Classic, which is awesome, and I've actually been to a couple live events too. Those are
Oh
also
man.
sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I worked at actually, so we have some connections here at school to Quail. And so the Wells Fargo was at Quail and then the PGA last year was also there and it's oh my gosh, so amazing. We've actually played it with like the stands up and all of that,
Wow.
which is oh, it's so cool.
That's
It's a really
amazing.
awesome experience. Yeah.
I bet. I bet. Yeah, there's so many golf courses that I would love to play someday. Um, my score would be absolutely atrocious because my score is not good on my like local courses, but I think it would just be so much fun, Quail or go out to Pebble Beach or St. Andrews and
Yeah.
play some of these courses or some of
Pinehurst is
yeah,
awesome. National Trump Doral, the Blue Monster, that one's awesome.
yeah,
Broome Sedge, that's really awesome as well. It's only going to get
right.
better too because it's new.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, any of the courses that Trump owns, any of the courses that Tiger owns now. There's so
yeah.
many of these phenomenal golf courses. I would love to go over and like play on a links golf course overseas. That'd be cool.
Yeah. That would be sick. I
It's
actually played in Belgium once. It's at Effing, Effling, which is like their Disney, and that's a really fun course as well. Like it's not like a million bunkers or anything like
Yeah.
that, but it was fun. My dad and I went out there. It was a blast. We had like rental clubs and yeah.
Yeah.
Did not play very good, but it was fun.
You can still say you played golf in Belgium. That's all you got to say.
Yes, exactly.
So are you a business major? Is that what I read on the
I'm
but
actually, yeah, I'm actually a marketing major.
okay.
And then I have a sports communications minor. So
That's where the
I've done,
broadcasting and reporting comes in.
yes, yes. So I love podcasting. This is so fun. And then I've also done some live YouTube shows. So I've hosted the Queen's Coaches Show where I've interviewed 4 to 5 coaches for about an hour, and we'd stream it live onto our YouTube channel for the university. And then I've also done some interviews for ESPN. And then I've also done some voice acting and some stuff for iHeartRadio. So
That's cool.
the long-term goal is I actually want to own an event management and marketing company. I want to do like weddings and galas and conferences and all that. And then I love emceeing. I'm not shy, obviously. So I like to go talk in front of people and all that, and then maybe do some voice acting and radio or commercials on the side. So
That's cool. Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
you're a
that's the
natural
plan.
at the podcasting. There's a lot of people who are very nice people to talk to, but right, they're just not good at the podcasting thing. They struggle with like having a conversation just flow, but you can tell that
Hmm.
you're into broadcasting, reporting, market, like all that stuff because
Yeah.
you're good at just letting the conversation flow.
Yeah. I mean, it's a blast too. I love talking. I love meeting people. I'm actually engaged, so my future mother-in-law always teases me all the time. I talk to everybody. No matter where I am, I'm talking to random people, strangers. My teammates make fun of me all the time too. Like, just it will be on the road and I'll just be talking to random people. So, talking is my talent.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I'm such a gabber. Like I
Yeah.
can't like go out to the local bars on the weekend and not see somebody. Like always see somebody that I know or kind of know, and I always end up talking to them for hours. And it's like, oh well, where'd the night go? Like somebody that I wouldn't regularly talk to, but like I'm just a gabber. Like once I start
Yeah.
talking, it's you know,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
I
gift
I
of
relate to
gab.
that. I relate to that. It is the gift of the gab.
Yeah,
Which is
no,
funny because I would not say either of my parents talk like a significant amount. Like neither of them are like super introverted, but I am by far like I don't and even in high school, I was not like this. Like I wouldn't say I like go out and talk to everybody. I was definitely not shy, but then as soon as I got to college and I just quite frankly stopped caring, I just started talking to everybody.
yeah, I feel the
Yeah.
same way. My dad he's a yapper though. He'll talk to anybody. Same thing. You can't go somewhere without him seeing somebody and then just yapping away. But I was the same way. I wasn't like this in high school. It was more when I got to college. And I feel like that's true for a lot of people, right? Like in high school, you're stuck as like this is the type of person you are and this is like the group you fit into. But then once you get to college, you can kind of burst out of your shell. Nobody knows you. It's a totally new place and you can like start fresh and get a new
Oh
start and who
yeah,
you
for sure.
are
I
and
mean, a lot of people who like you go to like an elementary school and then you go to the same high school with all the same people and then finally when you get to college or university you can like kind of break out of the shell. Whereas I don't know, for me I feel like I bounced around quite a bit between like public or private or homeschooled and then, I was always part of so much outside of school too. But yeah, as soon as I got to college, I actually came in as a business major, so maybe that's where you saw that. And then within a couple weeks, I switched it to marketing because I love the idea of like how to sell something to somebody or what appeals to somebody of some sort versus another, or like different colors and how to market and where to put things and target our audience. And then you mash that all up with like sports and talking and social media and all that. And it's like you kind of have everything that sums my interests all in one little bubble there. So, yeah.
yeah. Oh, that's cool for sure.
That's cool.
So I also was looking in your bio, and your uncle is Pat Verbeek.
Yes, he's actually my godparent and my uncle. Yes, my mom's oldest brother.
Wow,
Um, and then my Aunt Diane. So
hockey
godparents.
royalty.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're really, really awesome. I mean, if you don't know how to skate in my family, there's something wrong with you. Like everybody, yeah, yeah. Like you can't go into our house and hockey's not on the TV, you know?
Yeah,
So it's all about hockey and yeah, they have a great team. They're awesome. Like Allie, Gee, Samantha, everybody on their team is just phenomenal. And I've had the blessings to go over there and sit with a lot of their sports broadcasting team and kind of just sit with them. And I've watched quite a few games out there in the Orange County, and it's just awesome.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I've been a huge Ducks fan. They've been my hockey team, and people are like, "You're from Michigan, you're a Ducks fan." Like that's weird.
Really?
Yeah, I love the Ducks. And people always say, "Oh, you must be because of the movie." I'm like, "No, it has nothing to do with the movie, actually." One of the first like sets of hockey cards I got from like a garage sale, and there was a Timu Solani card in there. It was all shiny and silver. When I was little, I was like, "Oh, this card's so cool! It's all shiny and silver, and who is this guy?" And then at the 2013 Sochi Olympics, he played for Team Finland. He was like 42 years old, and he went out there and he just killed it. And I thought that was so cool. I was like, this guy is awesome. You know, he's a Ducks guy. I gotta root for the Ducks. So I started
Yeah.
rooting for the Ducks, and I've rooted for them ever since, even through the lows. And there've been a lot of lows recently. But your uncle's got that team shaped up right now.
Yes.
They are
They're on their way up.
rolling. I'm so excited right now. I mean, I thought that the Ducks would be solid this year, but I never thought I would be this excited so early into the season. Like, so it sucks being in Michigan because when they play at home, I never see the end of the game. Like I always get through the first and like maybe part of the second, and then I got to go to bed. So I wake
Yeah.
up in the morning, I'm like, what? They won. Oh my gosh, they beat the Panthers again. Oh my gosh, they beat the Jets. I'm like all excited. I'm getting fired up. Play the Avalanche tonight. That's gonna be a big one.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sick. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I have a
I
Ducks
totally thought
clock
you would
right
be a
there.
Red Wings. Oh, look at you. Totally
No.
thought you'd be a Red Wings fan.
No, I can't stand the Red Wings.
Wow.
I can't stand any Michigan sports teams.
See,
I mean,
where
I
I'm
hate
from in
them all.
Canada, we're kind of torn. Like you can be a Maple Leafs fan, but then I also live close enough to the border that you could also,
Both,
yeah, yeah.
both gross.
I'm not a Maple Leafs fan, over, but like close enough to like the Red Wings kind of border where it's like where I live is kind of 50-50 because you're driving the same distance to either team. So.
What would you say you're a fan of?
I think I have to be a Ducks fan
Yeah,
by association.
yeah.
But when I lived in Florida, I lived 20 minutes from the Panthers. And this was before they won the cup, so they sucked,
Really, yeah, they were pretty
honestly.
brutal
And, you
until like the
know,
last couple of years.
right. And their tickets were like $20, and I'd go on like random Tuesday nights, Thursday nights, and, I'd sit in the nosebleeds. But when I'm gift of the gab, I'm meeting enough people. They're like, oh, come on, sweetie, you can come. And I'd like go by myself or bring a couple friends. So yeah, I would just go buy their $20 tickets, go sit in the stands, watch some Panthers, and yeah,
Hey, the
sick.
Panthers are all right. Joel Quenneville was head coach of
Yeah,
the Panthers, won a Stanley Cup there. That was the other thing I was so fired up when the Ducks hired him, one of the greatest coaches in NHL history, three Stanley Cups. I mean, your uncle's really running that ship tight.
yeah. I hope so. It'd be cool to get another cup. So
Yeah, it was. It would be. And
yeah,
I wouldn't say that'll happen this year. I mean, I'm not going to put anything up, but the young guys are finally starting to like play as good as they can. Leo Carlson is insane. Cutter
yeah,
Gauthier is insane. And we keep getting all these guys from the New York Rangers. I love it. Like they keep signing with Truba
yeah. They're
and
sick of the snow.
we got Vetrano and Strome and yeah, they want to go out and
Yeah,
put on their flip-flops and I saw a rumor, because there's so many rumors on like NHL trades, and they were like at the trade deadline, maybe the Ducks would go for Artemi Panarin and they'd get another Ranger. And, like we're gonna have like the entire Rangers team from a few years ago.
yeah. Hey, but it's not bad. They'll do all right. They'll do
Yeah,
all right.
no,
We're
they're
hopeful.
fun to watch this year. It's exciting, and I love the new jerseys. A lot of people were hating on them, but I think they're awesome.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my hands on one.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for it, but
yeah, your uncle
let's
he's
see.
got to hook you up. He's got to hook you
Yeah,
up.
I'm hoping to go back over there sometime in December, so we'll have to see.
Yeah, hit
Yeah.
up a game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I'm
actually, in December last year, they hosted the Women's in Sports Night. And so I got to go over there and um they had, I mean, these women were incredible. They had Caroline Marks there, Angela Ruggiero. So like all these girls who have won like amazing Olympic medals. They had the president of the LA Sparks there. It was so cool. And like, you get to like sit down and meet them and took some photos with all of them. And then they did like during one of the second period, they presented them all with jerseys and it was really good. Really, really
yeah,
awesome. So hoping to go back for something like that too.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a family connection. I'm sure he could hook you up with some tickets, right? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just like pull up to their house. Hey, they're my godparents. What are they gonna do?
Yeah, right. Hey, Unc, come on, give me some
Yeah, come
tickets.
on. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Go Ducks. Go Ducks. So you mentioned that you're Catholic. Um,
Yes.
Whenever I get an opportunity, I like if people are willing to talk about their faith, I like to touch on that a little bit on the podcast. I'm also Catholic. Um, my faith has always been very important to me growing up. It still is very important to me. I don't know where I would be without my faith, personally, and um, I can't imagine not having faith. Like I mean it through
I
every tough
agree.
time. Um, it's really what gets you through anything.
Yeah, 100%. I kind of mentioned I was in between some private schools and public schools and then homeschooling and all that. So when I was grade seven, eight-ish, I was at a private school and a lot of these kids, they're very bright. They all want to be doctors or orthodontists or chemical engineers or engineers of some sort or whatever, right? And I'm sitting there like my parents own a company and I'm like I know I want to own a company. I just don't know what. And so that is when I knew that I kind of leaned on my faith. Like I started talking to my priest back at home and saying like I don't have a vocation. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I don't know where I'm supposed to be. And all within that same year, I had bronchitis and I broke my ankle. And to me, my world was ending because I couldn't figure skate and I couldn't do track anymore. And I thought I was going to go for a track scholarship. And same thing as you, like, I would not be here if it wasn't for my faith and for my parents and, offering every ounce of pain and, dedication to God. Um, and everywhere I've gone, I've had a support system. Like at home, when I was suffering through like not having a vocation and not knowing what I wanted to do, I went to my priest. And then first time moving out the house, I was 18 and I moved to Florida. And my support system was the church that I found at St. Bernadette's, and the priests there were awesome. And it was actually an older couple. Their names were Eric and Erica. They kind of took me in. We even ate out once, and they really helped me through. And it's like the support systems you find everywhere you go. And now I have St. Gabriel's here. Father Rich is amazing. Every girl on my team, there's all five of us. Every single one of us is Catholic, and we go out to mass together, and then we go out for dinner together afterwards. And it's you know, like every step you have God, and you just offer everything up.
I love
So
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah, I
awesome.
would not be here if I didn't have my faith either. And my parents taught me that from day one too. Like I went to mass every Sunday with them. They taught me that, and I went
Yeah.
to private Catholic schools, and yeah, all of my siblings. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, I agree with
Yeah.
you. I same thing. I grew up going to church every Sunday. We never missed mass. It wasn't like you got up and said,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, I don't feel like going today." It was you
Mm-mm.
always went to
Yep.
church. This is important. Like when I got to college, I ended up becoming very close with the priest at my home church, to the point where like sometimes I would go to confession once a week, twice a week, and we would just chat and we would talk and we got very close, and I feel very blessed to have him, somebody you could go to and just talk about what's going on in your life, and somebody that's got an open
Absolutely.
ear and very understanding. Um and if I look, like, I'm a firm believer in God's got a plan for all of us, whether we can see it right now or not. And if I look at my life and like going through college and the jobs I got, there were times where I questioned it hard, like, why is this happening? I'm so unhappy right now. But then if I look at where I'm at right now, it's like it was a snaking path, but like it got me here. I questioned it
Yeah.
along the way, but it got me here. And I'm very happy. Everything works out. You got to trust it, and that's not easy at all, right? It's so hard. But yeah, I mean, as long as you've got God in your back pocket and like He's your rock, like you can do anything. As corny as it
Yeah.
sounds, like it's true. You can do anything, with God.
Yeah, God's grace is really huge. The I'm sure you've seen this quote where it's like um when God gives you your dream, he's not looking at your budget. And to me, that's like, okay, like no matter what God has in store for me, it's full pursuit, full faith, like give it everything you've got because, whether you shoot for the moon and miss, you're still up with the stars.
Right.
So,
There's
yeah.
also a quote I saw, something like, if you pray for strength, God doesn't just like you wake up the next day and now you're a strong man. God gives you a challenge where you overcome it and you become strong through it, right? Like,
Yes.
I think a lot of people, they want, they say like, yeah, I believe in God, and then when they want something, they just turn and say, I need this, and they pray for it. When they don't get it right away, they say, well, what the heck with this religion stuff? I'm not dealing with that. But God places all this stuff in front of us because He knows we can do it, and He knows that when we do it, we're going to be better off on the other side. We're going to be stronger. We're going to gain knowledge. We're going to gain something. We're going to gain friends, that people that are going to be important in our lives. Whatever we gain going through that, you know like I look, the degree I went for to college I don't use right now. I mean, I still have a college degree, but I went for forestry and now I work in education, like totally different. But if I never went to college for forestry, I would have never met any of those friends. I would have never had those experiences, people that are very close to me, things that, like everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I would also say you can't just run to God when things are getting hard. You have to be thankful for every little thing too, and
Right.
offer every little thing up. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was
No,
beautiful.
I agree.
Well
Yeah,
said.
I love talking about. I used to be afraid to talk about it because I was like, what if people are gonna like judge me for being Catholic or religious? They're
Yeah,
gonna judge me because I believe in God. And then I started to think to myself, I have to. Like every day or every Sunday, the message is, right, like go out there and share the word. And I'd be
proclaim the
like,
word of God.
that's
Yes.
nice, but I'm afraid, But
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you know what? Actually, I would say what did it for me more was in Canada, it's like a little weird to talk about faith and that you're Catholic or like, it's
yeah,
almost a little frowned but upon. And then you come to the South and instead of saying like, "Oh, bless you," it's like, "Oh, God bless you." It's they're much more faith driven and it's in the culture here in the South to go to church every Sunday, and go to brunch afterwards, and you have your communities, and a lot of these churches have schools connected, and that's what I really, really loved. But the biggest thing is like being able to talk about having a team where all five of us are Catholic and we can talk about our faith and sit and do Bible studies and talk about what we're struggling and going through and how we can pray for each other. That's huge. So having a community where you can openly share things like that and not be afraid to talk about it with other people it's transforming.
yeah. What did it for me, like within a podcast sense, I had a guy named Chase Johnston. He plays Division 1 basketball at High Point University. And I was kind of in the mindset that like I want to start talking about faith, but like I didn't know how much. And he came on the podcast and he was so open and talking about it and so willing and wanting to talk about it and share all of his stories. And it was so smooth for him. It was so like, just I'm going to talk about this. There's no stress, there's no nerves. Like this is so important to me, it's worth talking about. And like the way that he approached it, I thought like, this is awesome. Like I want to be more open about it. I don't want to be all bottled up about it. So like after that podcast, I felt a little calmer about it. You know, I felt a little
Yeah.
more at ease with wanting to talk about it.
Which is such a good vocation too, that you're able to connect with these people too. That's amazing.
Yeah.
One of the one of the things I would like to do with like talking and podcasts and all that is actually there was this big conference I went to in Toronto when I was in high school, and it was called Lift Jesus High Rally. And what they did is they had speakers, they had like Christian bands and worship, and they also had adoration and confessions, and that was just so beautiful. I'd love to one day organize something like that or MC something like that. I think that would be really amazing. So that's definitely an end goal of mine.
Yeah. I went to
Yeah.
kind of a youth thing. It was like we all went for a couple of nights. We stayed at a in college dorms. They, like you said, had speakers. We had a huge adoration in the, like, you know, basketball gym. We had they had like a Catholic band there. Speakers you'd go through throughout the day. 50 priests on hand for confession that you could just go and talk to. And like that was a such an eye-opening experience because I come from a kind of a small town. Like in most of my religious ed class, my confirmation classes, there'd be like a max like 10 other people there. So like you're
Same.
like in this small group. But then when I went to this and there were thousands of other young Catholics, I was like, wow, this is awesome.
Yeah. And what a great way to meet other Catholics too. It's like, oh, there isn't just, 20 of us at church.
Right. You're a little sheltered.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
this is a religion. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. No, that would be cool if you could do something like that someday.
Yeah, and I think that ties in really well with like event marketing and management and talking and all that too.
For
So
sure.
definitely an end goal.
Yeah, I think it's awesome that everyone on your team is Catholic. You guys can bond over that and connect over that. I mean, it's one thing for like everyone's like Christian, maybe you're Catholic, you're Lutheran, and that's awesome. You can still connect over things, but like if you're all Catholic, you all you can all go to church together and
Yep.
you all grew
Hmm.
up with the same way when you were going to church. I mean, there's a lot of similarities between like say Lutherans and Catholics, but there also are so many differences that it's not always easy to communicate and understand like right Catholics go to confession and nobody else does,
Right.
right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. Talking about the beauty of confession and how transforming
yeah,
that is and receiving the Eucharist, but then also how we can relate to the Virgin Mary and the saints
right.
and like who our patron saint is and their kind of stories. And so, yeah, you can
Yeah.
get a lot more in depth, I think,
Right. Yeah, you can get a surface level with anyone else that's Christian, like this love for God, which is awesome. I'm not dissing
which is
that
awesome. Yeah.
at all. I'm just, you know, when you find somebody that grew up the same way as you can, like you said, go to that deeper level and have a deeper conversation. And I love talking to other people who weren't raised Catholic and hearing their opinions and hearing what they have to say. And I would love to get like some of the, like you know you could call them like celebrity priests on like Father Mike Schmidt. I
Yeah.
would love to talk to him
Yes. That
someday.
would
He'd be
be
amazing,
awesome.
you know.
Yes.
But they're so big now, and their schedules are so jam-packed. And what is that one guy? He's got over 1 million followers. Father David Michael, I think. If you've seen him on like
Yeah.
Instagram and stuff, he's got
Yeah.
great stuff. Like I would love to chat with some of those guys someday.
Yeah, one of my future sister-in-laws, she goes to University of Duluth or Duluth University, whichever one it is, and Father that's where Father Mike is. And so she has the pleasure of talking to him and they're so close. Like he's always on campus and he gets to talk
Yeah,
to all these young adults and all that. It's kind of jealous.
yeah,
He's a cool dude.
that
But
would be
I mean,
cool.
Father Rich here in Charlotte is amazing as well. So
Father John, he's my guy. He's a guy I grew up with. He just retired, but I still like once a month we'll probably go to his house and we'll chat and
nice.
yeah,
That is my favorite thing about the Catholic faith. Like people underestimate or like just don't really know how amazing it is to be close to a priest or nuns
yeah,
and those holy examples. Like they're wise. And the fact that Jesus can come through them and give you that wisdom as well. Yeah.
Yeah. My uncle was a priest.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
He
awesome.
his
One of my
actually
younger
his
sisters is thinking about becoming a nun.
I had a distant cousin that was a nun too on my grandpa's
Yeah.
side, Sister Navard. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you could say we're a Catholic family.
Yeah.
My uncle is looking over me now. He passed away a few years ago. I have his picture in the podcast room right above me. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put him here so he can like look over me and
Yeah, he'll
like
sit and listen to all of the
yeah.
podcasts. Yes.
Yeah, I
That's
really
awesome.
wish that I would have been a little bit older before he passed away because I would have loved to, like, now that I've grown into my faith, be able to sit down, like, because he's my uncle, and, like, just have a deep conversation about stuff. And, you don't appreciate that stuff when you're a kid, even if you're in, like, middle school or high school. You're just like, yeah, hey, uncle, how's it going? Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Like,
Yeah, that's definitely the hardest part of moving out. Like when I moved out when I was 18, and so like I feel like and I have six siblings. I have one older brother and then I have a twin and then four younger than them. And so I feel like I've missed a lot of their lives. And so like
yeah,
moving out and like being away and like not having the opportunity to ask the questions that you wish you could ask or,
right.
not being able to sit down and have a conversation and really connecting. It is something I feel like I'm gonna regret someday later
Yeah.
down the line and be like, gosh, I wish I just took the time to give them a call or, you know.
Right. Yeah, everything is so life is so precious. Every moment you have with your friends and family is so precious that, every holiday when you're all together, like you just got to cherish every single moment, ask all those questions, have the conversations, and so important.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, talking everything from
Thank you so
golf and
much.
faith and Anaheim Ducks. It's been great.
Oh yeah, go Ducks.
Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for more episodes soon.